Hello YouTube and welcome to Turmoil in the Toybox. I'm your host Aaron Hauser, and today I'm actually going to be doing a review on a couple different types of stands that collectors can use to display their 7-inch and 12-inch figures. I've had a couple different people comment on some of my videos asking where did I get specific stands from. So I thought I'd take some time today to kind of address the different types that are available to collectors and which kinds work best for 12 and 7-inch scale figures. So we'll start off. The most popular one people seem to ask about is this guy. This is from McFarlane. This was discontinued in 2011. Went for about $15 for a bag of, or no, excuse me, it went for about like $4 or $5 I think for a bag of 15. They used to be fairly cheap. Now they're going for $1 each on eBay if you can find them. I'm pretty sure you can find them a lot cheaper, so I'd try to check with McFarlane if they maybe still have some in stock. I know McFarlane has a couple different stores, so maybe you can find them there. But I'd just keep checking eBay to see if you can find a cheaper price. But yeah, this guy works with McFarlane figures, NECA figures, Mezco figures, and some other random brands. But this is perfect for holding the NECA and McFarlane 7-inch figures. Now, most figures, we'll use Frank here as an example, have that little peg hole on the bottom. So you just kind of insert it there, and a lot of these are actually very tight to get in, which is good simply because that way it actually holds onto your figure a lot better. So if you have a figure that's a little wobbly, you can position it depending on how you need it to kind of hold on better, so something like that. So that's the McFarlane stand for you. Like I said, these ones are discontinued, so if you can find them on eBay, that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of them. Some other options are the stands that come with DC Direct figures. These are pretty simple as well, just the same black circle with the peg on the bottom. These come with a lot of the Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City figures, as well as some of the older figures. I'm not sure entirely. I don't collect a whole lot of the DC Direct figures aside from the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum figures. But these ones also work with NECA, Mezco, the DC Direct line, stuff like that. So these ones are a lot easier to find. These are probably better if you just, collect them with the figure, depending on which figures you get. But yeah, pretty simple design, works well enough. These ones just became available a lot more recently. They're not my favorite, but they do the job. These you can find through Urban Collectibles. They're smaller in size, as you can see. And the peg for the foot is actually a bit shorter. Not as long as, say, the McFarlane ones. So if you hold them like that, you can see. This one has a better grip. This one, it holds well enough, but you'd probably need to use more than one if you have a bigger figure. For Frank here, it actually fits on him just about right, so that's not a problem. But for guys like, say, Jason here, it might be a bit more difficult because he's got a wider stance. So you might have to do one on one foot like that, and then one on the other. So if you want, you could position him with just, one foot with the base on it like that, but then he's a little wobbly, a little tipsy looking, so it looks a little odd on display. But these ones are available. I can't remember the price these are going for, but if you look on urbancollectibles.com, or if you just Google Urban Collectibles, you should be able to find these. And I can't remember. I think they come in a bag of 10, if I remember correctly. But yeah, don't take my word for it. I'd just double check on their site. The other ones that you could use are the figure bases that came with older NECA figures. Some people will actually sell these on eBay a couple at a time, depending on who you buy them from. This one was from an old Resident Evil figure. But these ones have the pegs that'll fit your NECA or McFarlane figures. The only downside to this is oftentimes they have more than one peg on it, so they were made to fit, you know, both feet in there. And if you're using this for a different figure than what it was provided with, it could pose a problem, because then the stance could be slightly wider and it probably won't work as well. But these, if you're having it on display up high and you just want something to stand them on, you know, 1 foot off to the side of the other peg, it still works. So you can't really see these when they're in their package with the Resident Evil figures or some of the older NECA ones. But if you just look up reviews for specific figures on YouTube, I'm sure the reviewer will probably display the figure with the actual base, so you can get an idea which ones have the base included. These are 2 different metal stands, and these are designed normally for dolls or Barbies, stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty lame, but at the same time, if you get them in the black, they look really good on display, and they will actually work for some of your more cumbersome figures. So, if you have a figure with a wider stance and you can't get them to stand up straight, there are these small stands that are available on Amazon, and they come with about 12 each. They're relatively cheap, but they're very sturdy, made completely out of metal, and there's 2 parts. There's just the clasp that holds the figure, and then the base. So we'll get Frank out here again. If you have a taller figure like that, it works because you can just put it around his waist. Unfortunately, that won't work because his arms are a little too close to his sides for that. But with Jason here, we'll try that. Lift this up, kind of expand it. That way you don't scratch your figure, and you can just clasp it around his waist like that. There you go. So it kind of looks like that. Now, on display, it actually doesn't look that bad. I've used these quite a bit for some of my harder to stand figures, or figures that actually did not have a peg hole in them, because not all are made with that convenience. So these ones work really well. And then there's also a separate size for, I think it's 12 to 14 inch figures, and these ones have a longer sort of clasp portion at the top here, and these only go down to about so far. So you could use this in the exact same way for taller figures. What was it? I think there were some Marvel Classic figures that I had that were taller that these worked really well with. So like I said, depending on what your need is for displaying the figure, there's a lot of different options out there. It just takes some hunting, but it is doable. So I hope that kind of gives you an idea as to what you have available. Happy hunting. I know some of these are hard to come by, specifically the McFarlane ones, but like I said, these black ones, these are still available on Amazon. I can't remember the name of the company, but if you just look up black doll stand, I'm pretty damn sure it'll come up very quickly. The black ones, once again, are from some of the older NECA figures. These, the small disc-shaped ones with the single peg, these are from Urban Collectibles. These smaller black ones, these are from DC Direct. And then the McFarlane ones again. So that about wraps it up. If you have any other questions about the stands or where to get them, I might be able to find some links. Just let me know. But yeah, that's about it. Check out some of my other reviews if you have time. And as always, I appreciate you guys checking out all my videos. Thank you very much.